right, we had our dumbass moron Discord VIPs. Just kidding, love you guys. Send in their overreactions. Let's see what they got.
Hey boys, this is Bold Corleone calling in.
Good man.
I think Josh Allen leads the league in rushing touchdowns this year.
I was going to say passing yards. I'm like, that ain't no overreaction. Okay, to lead the league in rushing touchdowns. Let's see who led the league last year. Yep. So, Jonathan Taylor last season had 18. James Conner had 15. Damian Harris had 15. Mixon had 13. That was the top 4. Josh Allen last year had 6 rushing touchdowns. So, he would need to triple his output of rushing touchdowns to match Jonathan Taylor from last year.
It's a hot take.
That's a hot fucking take, but I respect it.
What's good, boys? It's Tremoisey calling in. I think Mac Jones is going to have more MVP votes this year than Russell Wilson has had in his entire career.
Jesus Christ.
You know,
Absolutely. I'm not even going to discuss stats on that one.
well, you know what? So I've listened to this before. Russell Wilson has never had an MVP vote, ever.
So it's not that hard to do.
I looked it up because I was like, dude, this dude is smoking crack. It's hard to believe that Russell Wilson has never received a vote for MVP, despite making the Pro Bowl 9 times in 10 seasons.
Dude, it's always true. Russell Wilson always looks like he's going to be a god, and then he just doesn't get there. All right, so what you're saying is Mac Jones needs 1 MVP vote this season?
1.
I still think you're wrong. I don't think Mac Jones is even in the discussion this entire season. I respect it, though.
Who is? Who's going to win MVP? Josh Allen?
Top 5 is Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. I think Jalen Hurts will be in the discussion.
Really?
Just kidding. No, I don't.
What's good? It's Sean, also known as King Bo.
King Bo.
My overreaction is I believe the Rams are going to miss the playoffs and the Vikings are going to make it all the way to the NFC Championship, might even represent in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Okay, the Vikings piece I'm sketched about, but I tell you what sucks about making the Super Bowl. Your schedule is so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Go look at that Rams schedule, dude.
Right.
That schedule is difficult. So the good news is with their division, they're going to play the Seahawks twice. So you got 2 wins right there. That's nice. But you got to play the 49ers twice. Very good team. You got to play the Arizona Cardinals twice. Should be a very good team. You've got to play the Buccaneers. You got to play the Bengals. You got to play the Bills. You got to play all the best teams. So I don't think it's even that far-fetched to say the Rams won't make the playoffs. I think the Rams are certainly going to make the playoffs. But I don't think it's far-fetched to say they won't. As far as the Vikings going deep into the NFC Championship, I can't agree with that. I just don't see it happening. I really don't know how else to put it other than it's not happening. I think the NFC is too difficult for the Vikings.
Yeah, that's an overreaction.
I see them getting 8 wins.
Yeah, it's Blake calling in once again.
Blake, go.
I think Saquon is going to rush for 1,500 plus yards, have 700 plus receiving yards, and score more than 13 touchdowns for this upcoming season.
This may be the greatest one I have heard. Listen, I'm not too big on the 1,500, 700 thing because that's just such an interesting spread. But 13 plus touchdowns and over 1,500 rushing yards, I will agree with. I don't know about those receiving yards. It's kind of hard to factor that in. But I can easily see Saquon having a monster year. A Christian McCaffrey type year. I wish we had gotten Saquon in one of our leagues.
Okay.
We did not get Saquon in any of our leagues, so I'm a little bit bummed out about that. But yeah, awesome prediction. I love it. I'm with you, Blake. I'm with you.
It's due. It's due for him to have a pop-off season.
It's Zai calling in for the overreaction.
What's
And
up,
my
baby?
overreaction for the 2022-2023 NFL season is the Detroit Lions make the playoffs in the wild card because of all these upgrades they made in the offseason and in the draft, and where they will go on to beat the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card, but go on to lose to the Minnesota Vikings in the second round of the playoffs. That's my overreaction.
The Vikings
Thank you.
cock!
Wow.
Zai, I love this. So
the
Lions
Cowboys.
wild card. Here's what's crazy. You know, when I was just talking about schedules, Lions schedule is so piss poor. Do we play the Texans, the Seahawks? I mean, it's tough that we got to play the Packers, but I think the fact that the Bears, we'll play the Bears twice, we'll play the Vikings twice, so we play the Jets, we play all the worst teams in the fucking league. We have to be better than the worst teams in the league to get to the wild card. 10-7. That should nab us a wild card slot. I think that would be awesome. Zai, I love it. Against the Dallas Cowboys too, and we beat them. That'd be our first playoff win in like an absurd amount of years. I don't even want to talk about it, really.
Yeah.
Good shit. I love to see that. All right, let's see what you got here.
Yeah. Let's listen in.
So is this an overreaction?
This is Gabe again.
Yep.
And just hear me out. So
Said hear me
Bengals, I'm going to go through their schedules. Week 1, loss. Week 2, loss. Week 3, win. That's 1. Loss. Win. 4. Loss.
Say loss for the Browns?
I think the Bengals are going to have 4 to 5 wins. Their 5th maybe being the Patriots.
That is
While
the worst
Lions
take I've heard.
Sweep the Vikings, sweep the Bears. That's 4. They beat the Commanders, which is 5.
This is the
Beat
Lions.
the Seahawks, 6. beat the Giants 7, Jaguars 8, and Jets 9. Lions 9-ish wins, Bengals 4 to 5-ish wins.
All right, that's got to be the worst take I've ever heard. All right, I want to talk about two things. When you look at a schedule and predict whether a team wins, now I do it sometimes kind of as a meme, like saying the Lions are going to go 12-5. This is the fallacy you're having, is you look at something in a vacuum, okay? That's how it works. If I look at, let's take a game here, like a relatively good matchup. I think Bengals-Saints, on paper, in a vacuum, you might say right now that the Bengals are a better team than the Saints. They won more games last year. They're a better team than the Saints.
Yep.
That's looking at it in a vacuum. I'm looking at it on paper. We have no idea what these rosters are going to look like on October 16th at 1 p.m.
Right.
Half of these players get injured. Half of them don't suit up. This and this happens. Massive trade happens. Whatever. Joe Burrow, COVID, doesn't play. All of a sudden, it's a totally different game. Now, it is easy to look at the Lions schedule, see how piss poor it is, and think the Lions are going to the wild card. It's also easy to look at the Bengals schedule, see that it's difficult, but upsets happen every single year. Good teams lose to bad teams lose to good teams win games on average. That was the most aggressive take. If you're going to look at it in a vacuum, though, if we're going to even do that, the Bengals beat the Jets, the Bengals beat the Colts, the Bengals beat the Dolphins, the Bengals maybe lose one to the Ravens, they beat the Saints, they beat the Falcons, they beat the Browns, they beat the Panthers. How are those losses? They maybe lose the Steelers 1 out of 2, maybe they lose to the Titans, okay, we'll take those away, maybe they lose to the Chiefs, we'll take that away, they beat the Browns again, maybe they lose to the Bengals, they beat the Patriots, maybe they lose to the Bills, and then they get one on the Ravens. That's 10 wins, just looking at it like that. Come on.
That's an overreaction right there.
Bengals didn't beat the Jets last year. There's a perfect example, and they went to the fucking bowl, baby. Well, you know what? It's an overreaction, so that's just how it do be. It was an overreaction, so you absolutely did what was asked.
Yeah.